Hi, I'm Mark Auslander. I teach the Museums and Public Memory class, and I'm doing a little self-introduction for our YouTube channel. I've been interested in museums, I guess, all my life. I grew up in Washington, D.C., spent a lot of time around the Smithsonian. Became fascinated again, I guess, with museums when I was doing field work in the late 1980s in Zambia. And among the Ngoni people, began to get a sense of how important it was to them to have a museum, which they didn't yet have. But I spent a lot of time hearing stories about what it meant to have a museum, and I became fascinated with that idea, a sort of feature of global culturalism, that everyone feels that they're entitled, that their people should have a museum, and that seemed very intriguing to me. And when I got back to Washington a few years later, I got involved with the African Voices Project, which was the attempt to basically reconstruct, to rebuild the national exhibition of African cultures, which had been developed in the late 1960s, been taken down under a lot of controversy, and I spent several years working on that content development process with Mary Jo Rinaldi and Chris Kramer and Michael Atwood Mason. We were sort of the core folks in the content development process. And it's a beautiful exhibition, really proud to have been involved in that. I've also been involved in other exhibition projects, including in reference to lynching photographs, the Without Sanctuary project in Atlanta. And then I've done a lot of work with my students over the years, especially on exhibitions around slavery and African American memory and memories by refugees. So I try to move back and forth as a scholar of museums and public memorials, doing work with kind of mainstream or large institutions, and then very excited about working especially with my students and with local community organizations as they attempt to take control of their own memory. So I'm excited to be in the class, really looking forward to getting to know everybody in it. Thanks.